he won a Show West Award for the Male Star of Tomorrow based on his performance in The Patriot and worldwide releases of A Knight's Tale. He was on his way to the top at that point already. Ledger won Best Actor of 2005 awards from both the New York Film Critics Circle and the San Francisco Film Critics Circle for his performance in Brokeback Mountain, in which he played Wyoming ranch hand Ennis DeMar, who has a love affair with the aspiring rodeo rider Jack Twist, played by Jack Gyllenhaal. He also received a nomination for Golden Globe Best Actor in a Drama and nomination for Academy Award for Best Actor for his performance. At the tender age of 26, Ledger became one of the youngest performers ever nominated for the Best Actor Oscar. Did you hear that? He became one of the youngest performers ever nominated for the Best Actor Oscar. This is the point in his career where they are beginning to hook him and suck him in deeper. You'll find out on AM 640, Toronto Radio, when A View from Space continues. More coming up.
Extreme radio for extreme times. This is A View from Space with the Spaceman on AM 640.
You've changed things. Forever. There's no going back. See, to them, you're just a freak. Like me.
I'm the guy that calls space. It's AM 640, Toronto Radio. You can email me at a couple of spots. I have two addresses, space@640toronto.com or spaceman@640toronto.com. Just getting started telling the story of Heath Ledger. And just before I broke, I was telling you at such a tender young age of 26, this man is already nominated for an Academy Award for Best Actor. One of the youngest performers ever nominated for that award. In the New York Times review of the film, critic Stephen Holden writes, both Mr. Ledger and Mr. Gyllenhaal made this anguished love story physically palpable. Mr. Ledger magically and mysteriously disappears beneath the skin of his lean, sinewy character. It is a great screen performance, as good as the best of Marlon Brando and Sean Penn. He wrote that in a review in Rolling Stone. So, glowing accolades for a young man only 26 years old, I believe, being set up, sucked in, drawn in by the power of the motion picture business and his desire to be a director, and something else deep inside of him, which you'll learn more about on AM 640, Toronto Radio, as I tell the story of Heath Ledger. Pete Travers states Ledger's magnificent performance is an acting miracle. He seems to tear it from his insides. Ledger doesn't just know how Ennis moves, speaks, and listens. He knows how he breathes. To see him inhale the scent of a shirt hanging in Jack's closet is to take measure on the pain of love lost. You can see Hollywood's building him up for something, can't you? I'm sure you can. Because all critics, especially on the West Coast in San Fran and on the East Coast in New York City, rarely have glowing accolades glowing accounts together with the same actor. An endorsement, an almost seduction. Would you agree? Also in 2005, Ledger portrayed a fictionalized version of Giacomo Casanova in Casanova, a romantic comedy which co-starred Sienna Miller. In 2006, Ledger was invited to join the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. Were you ready for that? At such a tender age, Heath Ledger was invited to join the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Science, and you now have to understand, you have to be invited to join this academy. Now he was at the pinnacle, almost, of his career. To me, this is one of the most intriguing moments in his meteoric rise to stardom. Notice, he was invited to join the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. I believe, firstly, that Heath Ledger was a ritual sacrifice offered to Satan to pave the way for the Antichrist's emergence onto the stage, onto the scene, which I believe, by the way, to be imminent. In my mind, to get into the very prestigious club of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, a price must be paid. You don't just walk in. First of all, you must be invited. And it's different for each person who's invited. I believe that it was a pact that Heath Ledger had to sign. A pact with the devil. I would call it a pact to reach that so-called hallowed area in the motion picture business. Yes, I believe Heath Ledger made a pact with the devil to exchange his life for his coveted position and stardom. I don't believe for a second, though, that Heath Ledger knew when the exact time for him to be sacrificed, the price to be paid in full would be. But I'm sure he thought he'd have quite a few more successes before he'd have to pay. Bobby Fischer, the chess champion, died this year also, on the 17th of January, just a mere 5 days before Heath Ledger. And on the anniversary of the alleged massive stroke suffered by Berenguer Saunier, who, of course, was the focus of Holy Blood, Holy Grail, and the Da Vinci Code. The 17th of January, by the way, is the feast day of St. Sulpice. You see, Bobby Fischer believed that the Holocaust was faked, and that the world is controlled by the Kabbalist Jews, who are not Jews, but believe in the mystery religion of ancient Egypt, and also control America. Bobby Fischer believed in mind control techniques also involving beam weapons and radio waves way back in the 60s. After 9/11, Bobby Fischer, the chess champion, gave a radio interview to say he was glad about the attacks and that he hoped America was destroyed as it was rotten to the core. And to give you a little idea, a little insight as to why Bobby Fischer passed away.